morning, everybody. It's Erik the Reptile Guy. Hope you guys are all having a great day and enjoying the time to be home with your families, and wishing that everybody's staying safe and healthy and doing all the things that you need to do to make sure that you are getting your work done and you're enjoying yourself and really doing your best to enjoy this time. I know it may not seem like an enjoyable time for everyone. However, you must enjoy the life that you have. So make sure you do that and be always grateful for the time that you do have here. And so I want to start with that because I feel grateful every single day. And I'm smiling and I'm wearing my happy shirt right now. So today we're going to meet some amazing animals. So we're going to meet a few animals. And each week we're going to meet a few different animals. And sometimes we're going to be out in the wild. But today we're actually going to be right here because the animals that we're going to see are animals that are under a special license that I get from the Department of Environmental Conservation to conduct the work that we do. Now, we've been doing live animal shows for the past, 23 years, a while. And as I progressed through this, I realized how important it is to make sure we respect the animals and always respect nature. So if you guys want to respect nature together, then I need you all to do something for me. I need you all to raise your right hand and say, I promise to always follow my dreams, have fun, be happy, and enjoy and respect nature. So make sure you do that and you'll always be successful. And make sure you always use earth-friendly things too, because the first animal that we're going to see is very, very important to the well-being of our planet. And we're going to meet it right now. But before we meet it, I want to see if you guys can guess what it is. I'm sure if you guys have seen our show before, you know what it is already. But it's an animal that comes from Madagascar. Now, if you've ever seen the movie Madagascar, then you know who the king is in the movie Madagascar. The king in the movie Madagascar is King Julian. King Julian. And King Julian is what type of animal? Does anybody know? If you're not sure, I'm going to tell you right now. King Julian is a type of an animal called a lemur. And you can see there, I'm actually in Madagascar in this video playing. Well, I wasn't playing with them, but I sort of was. They were playing with me. So I was like literally, they were jumping all over me and I was like bugging out because I'm not really used to mammals like that. Like, you know, jumping all over you. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But it was fun. And so I just wanted to share that with you. And now we are going to get a chance to meet our first animal, which is a bug from Madagascar. And they are Madagascar hissing cockroaches. If you guess hissing cockroaches, then you're absolutely right. And so before we meet the roaches, I want to see if you guys can guess which one of these containers actually contains the roaches. Hold on a minute. Let's see. Is it the container in the right? Or is it the container in the left? The container on the right or the container on the left? You guess right and you'll get a prize. And the prize is that you get to kiss the roach through the screen. Let's see. So here, let's place this one down there and we're going to open each one. So let's see first. Let's open this one first. All right, let's see. Let's have a look inside. And if you look inside, if you guess this one, there's no roaches in there. Wah, wah, wah. And so no roaches in there, but maybe inside here. Let's see. And yes, there are plenty of roaches in here. There are a plethora of roaches inside here, and you're going to get a chance to meet them right now. Now, dun, 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 here they are. Hello, everyone. We're the Madagascar roaches, and we're very happy to be here with you guys today. This is a thrilling experience. It's really enjoyable to be here with Erik and quarantined in the house. In fact, one of us got loose and was under the flower pot yesterday, so this is a really exciting time for us. Very, very exciting that Erik's home with us every single day doing shows for you guys. Awesome. So yes, it actually, I'm enjoying our time home alone with my roaches. And if you notice, I'm not touching them. And the reason that I'm not touching them is because I'm allergic to roaches. I actually really am allergic to roaches. And it's so weird because I had to go to the doctor for some issues. And when I went to the doctor was like, well, you should get an allergy test. And it was actually for the cardiologist. And I'm totally fine now. But he said that sometimes your heart can do weird things if you're eating things that you're allergic to. And that's actually what was happening. So I'm allergic to roaches, which this is this is fine. But if I touch them, I can break out in hives and have like a reaction and stuff. So that's why I'm not touching the roaches. So I'm allergic. But have a look, you all. That one's the female, and that one there we see with the little horns on his head. That one's the male. All right. So and he's here. Oh, he just hissed. Did you hear that? Listen. Did y'all hear that? Listen again. Oh, he hissed. That's so cool. So it actually hissed. So yes, they're hissing cockroaches because they actually really do hiss, and so that's why they call them the Madagascar hissing cockroaches. So pretty interesting that they do that. And you know what else, you all? You know what else, guys? These roaches had babies, and there's one little baby roach in here, but I actually there's two little baby roaches in there. I just want to be super careful not to take them out. Now, this is not their enclosure, but we put them in here during the time that we're doing shows, so they're comfortable. So we put them in there so they're comfortable, so that way, you know, when I go to take them out, they don't like spray and bug out, because if that happens, then I will have an allergic reaction and I break out in hives. But I've noticed since I'll take them out a couple days before, let them, you know, get their food, have everything inside there for them, and then it actually works out that I don't break out in hives. So much better. And you see this one's running away. That one's the one that was loose actually in the house. Don't let it loose. Anyway, so we're going to say goodbye to the roaches. Actually, wait. There's one more important thing I forgot about, you guys. So everyone, don't say goodbye just yet. So you see, that's the one that was actually loose in the house right there. That's the male. And the thing of it is, you all, that roaches all are insects. And all insects are very important because they all do certain things for the environment. Like insects can feed other animals. Like my frogs, some of my frogs eat insects. They eat crickets. And the birds eat insects. And many other animals do too. Some reptiles eat insects too. And the other part of it is that not only that do they eat insects, but they are decomposers. So everybody say decomposers. So a decomposer is an animal that actually helps to provide fertilizer for the ground. So in other words, it poops on the ground. So the roaches poop on the ground, it fertilizes the plants and helps keep things going. So without fertilizer, plants can't grow. So the poop from the roaches and from worms and from other animals serves as fertilizer. And you know, and now I couldn't say people because people have a cesspool, which is kind of weird, but but you know, animals in the forest don't say, wait, let's go to the toilet. You know what I mean? They just poop on the ground, you know, where they are. But on that, they keep moving and they move deeper into the forest. Then it rains, and then the rain washes the poop into the ground, and then the animals start to dissolve it. Think about it. Dung beetles in Africa, they eat all the poop. You know what I mean? They roll it around in a giant ball, and then they eat it and, you know, use their, you know, feed their babies with it. And it's all kind of cool things that poop does. And so I said poop do, but poop does. Anyway, so with that said, we're gonna say goodbye to the roaches, and remember to consider to not use pesticides on your lawn or any place, because the roaches and other bugs can negatively be affected by it, and bugs will certainly die from it. And there's one particular animal that really is probably the greatest example at this time to share with you about animals that are affected by pollution and not using earth-friendly things, or insecticides or pesticides, or even herbicides, or even fertilizers. Animals are all affected by these things, and so we want to keep that at the forefront of our mind when we start to purchase things for our lawns and things like that. And so let's have a look at it. So say goodbye to the roaches. Say bye, roaches. And now we are going to see our next animal. And the next animal we're going to meet is a frog. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to meet a frog. Now, before we meet the frog, I need you to all do me a favor. We're going to wake the frog up. And the way we wake the frog up is by making a sound like a frog. So ready? On the count of 3. 1, and 2, and 3. Everybody make a sound like a frog. Okay. I heard you guys virtually. Well, I heard a lot of people saying ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. And you know what? There aren't any frogs around here that make that sound. In fact, there might be one frog, like the Yosemite mountain frog in California. I'm just making that up now, actually, but there may be a frog in California, because a friend of mine had mentioned that to me. However, the frog we're going to see right now actually comes from Australia, and it's one of my favorite frogs, and she's called the Dumpy tree frog, and she sounds like this. Wah, wah, wah. Everyone make that sound. That's the sound that the frog makes, and we're going to meet her right now. And her name is Hop the tree frog. So let's go get her. Okay, here she is, you guys. Here she is. This is Hop the tree frog. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. We're very grateful for you guys to be here with us during the quarantine time, because it is quarantine time, but actually Erik enjoys being here with us, and we enjoy him being here with us too. So we don't mind being quarantined because we get lots and lots of crickets and food to eat. So this is a wonderful time for us. So yeah, you see that? It's a wonderful time for them. It's a wonderful time for me. It's a wonderful time for everybody. It's a wonderful world. So guys, this is Hop, and she is a dumpy tree frog, or a white tree frog. And what's amazing about tree frogs is that actually right now, all over the Northeast, in the northeastern part of the United States, there are tree frogs waking up. There have actually been frogs awake since March, but one of the tree frogs that's been awake is the spring peeper, and one that's waking up right now is the gray tree frog. Right now, during this springtime, the gray tree frog is actually waking up. So you can actually find a gray tree frog, and obviously you can't find a dumpy tree frog here because they're from Australia, but they have similar characteristics. Now, if you notice, the frog, she's gonna jump on my hat. I can see she's poising herself to jump on my hat. But guys, the frog has special pads to allow them to stick to just about anything. So she can stick, if I go like that, you can see she can easily stick to my finger, right? She can stick to my hat. Watch out, she can stick to my hat like that, and this does not hurt her at all. She can stick to my hat like that. And I would stick it to my face, but I got lotion on my face, so I don't want to do that. But you can see, we can stick it to the back of the turtle shell, just like that. Dun, 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 dun. You can see, the tree frogs can stick everywhere just like that because they have special hands. Now everybody go like that with your hands, and everybody look at your hands, and everybody say, glands on your hands. So, we have glands on our hands called sweat glands. Everyone say sweat glands. But if you're a tree frog, guess what? You don't have sweat glands. Instead, you have sticky glands called mucus glands. Everyone say mucus glands. So it's actually like boogers coming out of your hands if you're a frog like this. And so yes, they have sticky hands like that, so it helps them. Now, I want to share with you guys something really cool too. Another cool thing is if you look at her belly, you see her belly? If you're a tree frog, or any frog for that matter, you actually drink directly through your stomach. You drink through your skin, because tree frogs and all amphibians have what's called permeable skin. Everybody say permeable skin. So permeable skin is skin like a sponge, and so you can absorb water directly through your skin, just like this. So all the water goes directly into your skin, and so you can totally survive well, provided that there's no water pollution. If there's water pollution, guess what? Then the frogs can't survive. And so it's really important to make sure that you understand how important it is to make sure you use earth-friendly things. And so let's make a pledge right now. Let's make a pledge. And we're going to do it with a frog in our hand, okay? So ready? Everybody raise your right hand and say, I promise to always do my very best to use earth-friendly things. And if you do that, we'll have a nice, clean, healthy environment, safe for frogs and safe for all of us. So make sure you use earth-friendly things for the sake of the frogs on the planet and everywhere. Now, just so you know, and this is a very important information I'm going to share with you, is that frogs worldwide frogs and amphibians in general have been going extinct at a rapid rate. More amphibians have gone extinct in the last 20 years than any other time in history. And so this is crazy that this is happening now. A lot of new things in history have been happening. But guess what? A lot of these new things in history have been happening because of the activities that people do on a daily basis. So if you pay attention to your activities, like what you put down the drain, what you put in your body, how much waste do you use? How much paper do you use? You know, do you waste things? Do you use things? Do you pour things that are poisoned down the drain? Those are really important things. Conserving water is very important too, because in certain places there is no water. However, there's no water shortages right now. There's really no water shortages anywhere. We're surrounded by water. It's just the fact that in a lot of places there's not potable water. There's not enough clean water because of the activities that people do on a daily basis. And so if people are using pesticides and chemicals or washing with harsh detergents and things, or bleach, those things going down the drain make the water not drinkable and make the water not usable for animals like frogs. And so please make sure you use earth-friendly things that go down the drain, that are completely biodegradable and that are really good for the earth and not toxic to the environment. So just keep that in mind of using earth-friendly things. Like, for example, you can plant citronella geraniums, or you can plant lemongrass, or you can plant lavender. You can plant any of these things that's right here behind me. You can plant any of these things, and those things will keep the bugs away for sure. Now, for all you Long Islanders out there, if you ever lived on Long Island, New York, which is where I grew up, in Long Island, I was at the Long Island Game Farm, and I stayed there during the year 2014 for more than half the year. For more than 8 months I was there. And I was there for the better part, for all the summer. And I said, well, I'm living in a camper right now. And it was all good. We had a discovery place for our animals. It was awesome. But guess what? I planted 2 pots of lemongrass on either side of my entrance to my camper. And then I planted some lavender, but I had 2 doors to it, two entrances. And then I planted some lavender on one side, the lemongrass on the main entrance, the lavender on the other side where the bed entrance was. And guess what? There was no, and that was actually, where when I opened the window, the lavender smell would come in, so it'd be nice for sleeping. And I'm telling you, I didn't get one mosquito bite. Not one, but guess what I got? I got shingles. Ask your parents what that is. Anyway, it was terrible. I was stressed out. So that means don't stress out and you won't get shingles. Anyway, so stay calm and relaxed. So that's the whole point of that. But anyway, I've learned to do that and I'm doing that now. But the whole thing is that using earth-friendly things and not using pesticides and things that can be harmful is really critically important for the lives of these wonderful animals, right? Isn't that right? He's like, yes, that's right. Please make sure that you always use earth-friendly things because Erik is my friend. And all my frog friends in Australia and all our frog friends around the world want to make sure that we survive and do very, very well and live for lifetimes to come. Exactly. So the frog, he knows what he's talking about. So just make sure you listen to what the frog is saying and it'll be all good. What does the frog say? Wah, 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 wah. All right, you all. So everybody say goodbye to our frog for now. And guess what? Now it's time to meet some snakes. All right, and here she is. This is Bobby. So everyone say hi to Bobby. Hello, everyone. I'm Bobby, the ball python, and I'm very excited to be here with all of you and to be here with Erik during this time. So yes, this is Bobby, and she's awesome. Now, Bobby is a ball python, and she's a rescue. I actually rescue Bobby, and what I mean by rescue, when I say rescue, sometimes people ask, well, what do you mean by rescue? All right, so what I mean by rescue is this, that many animals are in the hands of people that have no idea how to take care of them. So if someone doesn't know how to take care of their pet and the pet is potentially not going to survive from being in the hands of someone that doesn't really know how to care for it properly, then you rescue it because otherwise it was going to pass away. The pet can't rescue itself. So that's why this is part of our rescue efforts to make sure that people are educated about their animals and also make sure that they read about their pets before they get them. So I would like everybody to do a special pledge right now. Everybody raise your right hand and say, I promise to always do my very best to read 21 books about my pets before I get them. So make sure if you get a pet, read about it before you get it because otherwise you can get a pet that gets way too big and you can't care for it anymore. Or you can get a pet that that could outlive you. It could be over 100 years. It could be anything. It could be so many different things that come up. Pet getting too big, pet getting too old, pet, so many different things. Somebody had a baby, can't have the pet anymore because we have a snake and the snake's 17 feet long, so it's not a good idea to have a snake that big with a baby around or even a person around for that matter. So the truth is to make sure you read about your pets before you get them. Now, this ball python, I got her from a friend of mine's parents. They had the snakes and they just really couldn't handle it anymore as far as the care and getting the rats and all the things that it needed. And so they decided that it would be a better idea to adopt the snake out. Now, if you take a look, I think she's going to shed her skin soon because I could tell her skin looks a little bit dry. So I think she's going to shed soon. But I want to share with you some really interesting features. Now, she just ate recently. Otherwise, I would say let's feed her today. But maybe during our next presentation, we'll feed the snakes. We'll do a presentation all about what animals eat. But right now, we're learning about some of their their characteristics that allow them to survive. Now, this snake, if you look at her eyes, look at her nose. You can see her nose. Can you see that? That around her nose there, those are heat sensing pits called labial pits. And those heat sensing pits allow her to be able to find food in the forest. And so those detect heat along with what she's doing right now. She keeps flicking her tongue out like that. So everybody at home, flick your tongue out. Go. Now, every time a snake sticks their tongue out, they can find out where food is by using their special forked tongue and a nose, but a nose that's actually inside their mouth. It's inside their mouth. So their nose is inside here that actually does the smelling for them. And so when that nose flicks out, when the tongue flicks out like that, they can pick up the molecules from the air and know exactly where there's food. It's really remarkable, the snakes. It's just amazing how they do that. And so just so cool. And yep, so that's all about Bobby. And one last thing I want to share. The other reason I said about reading about your pets before you get them is because look at this picture of me there. That was when I was 12 years old and I snuck my first ball python in the house. That was the morning after my dad found it the night before, and in the middle of the night, because he just went in my room to go close the window and check on something, and he saw the light from the cabinet that I put the snake in, and he said, "Your snake." I'm like, "No!" And I was in trouble. And so anyway, Dad found it, and then after he found it, I was really upset that I couldn't keep it. But the next morning, we did do a little photo shoot with the snake, and you can see that's me when I was 12 years old with my first ball python. And actually, there's another picture of me with my carpet python there too. And yeah, that was me with my snake. That's when it started. Even before that, when I was young. So it's been quite a while. So it's kind of nice to see that I'm still living my dreams and still doing what I love. That's why I always share that with you, so you remember to make sure you actually do it. Live your dreams. Do what you love. No matter what's happening in the world, always keep your dream in your heart and do activities that work towards your dream. So if you like to draw, draw. If you like going for nature walks, go for nature walks. Social distancingly, of course. With social distancing, of course. But really, all these things you have to make sure you find in your heart what you love to do and do it. What better time than now to really start living your dreams and do it as you go along through your whole life. So even after this all has passed, you will continue to live your dreams and do what you love. So it's so important. All right. Well, with that said, everybody say goodbye to Bobby. Say goodbye. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining. All right, everybody. Here's Oreo. Say hi, Oreo. Hey, everybody. I'm Oreo. What's up, you guys? Look at my tongue. See his tongue, you guys? So I have to hold Oreo securely like this because Oreo, he likes to be held very close. He wants to know that I'm not going to hurt him. Okay, buddy, okay. He wants to know I'm not going to hurt him, not hold him too tight. But I have to hold him like this, otherwise he starts to like bug out. He doesn't like not being like that. But I adopted Oreo because guess what? Somebody had him as a pet. Someone had him as a pet and they couldn't keep him anymore. And actually he got loose. He was found in the town of North Babylon, crawling around. And I got a call from the Babylon town shelter that they had this lizard there. And so, they said, just like, can you tell us what kind of lizard he is? And I was like, sure. So I went over there. They sent me a picture first, and I looked at it, and I said, wait, he's a tegu. And he would actually be the third or fourth tegu that I ever had. And I love tegus. They're the best. But the only thing, guys, is that they really do take a lot of work to care for, and they need a lot of space because oftentimes tegus end up getting loose because they need a lot of roaming and running around. In nature, they roam, they run around, they look for things to eat all day long. And so, our Oreo, he's allowed to roam the house pretty much. They do sleep in wintertime, but when they want to roam, they want to be able to move around and not feel restricted. And that's really important for animals to have that freedom. Now, if you look at his tongue, just like the snake, he has the same forked tongue. But also, you see, he has these big cheeks. Male tegus have these giant cheeks like this. Those are his cheeks. So he's like, look at my cheeks. Look at my cheeks. Look at my cheeks. So he has cheeks, and the cheeks actually is how he courts a female. So that's how he does that. Now, I got to tell you all, if you look at his eye right now, see his right eye? I'm really thrilled about his eye being like that because last year he had to get surgery, and it was really quite sad that he had to get, not sad, but yeah, it was a bit sad because we thought he was going to have to get his eye taken out, but it actually turned out really well thanks to Dr. Greco. And you can see here, that's me after. I was really happy that the surgery went well, but it was a crazy surgery he had to go through. And but the surgery, when he went under the anesthesia, the surgery itself was nothing crazy, but the anesthesia was crazy because it could be dangerous for them. So we had to watch his anesthesia. I was nervous, but he did just fine. You know, we have an expert veterinarian out in Long Island, and he was fine. He did great, and so it's all good. And so now he's doing just fine. So I'm really thankful to Dr. Greco for caring for our wonderful Tegu and providing his service for us at the Animal Medical Hospital out in Center. So if you're anywhere in New York, or even if you're out of the state, you know, Dr. Greco is a great veterinarian. Dr. Monaco also was a vet I used to use, and also Dr. Elizabeth. I just heard about Elizabeth. Oh my goodness, I can't think of her last name. Cohen, Dr. Cohen, Elizabeth Cohen. So these are the vets that I use for my reptiles, and no matter what, I can call them up anytime, and they can help out. So if you have a reptile, definitely do that. But anyway, you guys, wishing you guys all enjoyed this presentation. There's a lot more to come, so keep watching every week, and we'll see you soon. But for now, say goodbye to Oreo. Say goodbye, guys. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Okay, Oreo. Okay. Let's close the shirt. All right, Oreo. Relax. All right, I got to put him back. All right, guys. Have a great day. Bye.